So let's talk about one of the biggest, in my opinion, biggest tragedies of modern day life. Let's talk about workplace engagement. You know, every year, Gallup makes a huge survey, a worldwide survey about workplace engagement. They ask 120,000 to 160,000 people in 160 different countries about their engagement at work. What does that mean, engagement at work? They ask them, they try to find out how enthusiastic, how involved they are at their job. And the results? The results are really not great. So let's look at the results. 21% in 2024, 21% of the people said that they are engaged at work. That are the people who are enthusiastic, that are the people who identify with their company. They love their job. 21%. 1 out of 5 people. It's not really much, don't you think? So let's look what the other people said. Well, 63% said that they are not engaged. What does that mean, not engaged? That are the people who go to work for the pay. That's the only thing that they're interested in. They want to get paid, and that's it. They do the job because they get a salary. They don't care about the company. They don't care about the organization. Everything that counts is that at the end of the month, they have their pay. That are the people who on Monday are looking forward to Friday. That are the people who, at the beginning of the year, the most important thing for them is to plan their vacation. That are 63%. And now there's 16%. 16% admit themselves. They admit that they're disengaged. They're disengaged at work. What does that mean, disengaged? Disengaged people are people who sabotage. They basically sabotage their own company. They hate their job. They hate their work. They don't like to go there. So they sabotage it because they're frustrated. And now you ask yourself, yeah, why don't they just quit? Because you know what? Most of these people in this group who admit that they're disengaged are people in the age group of about 50 years old or older. So why don't they quit? Because they can't. Because they have obligations. Maybe they have kids who go to college that need to be financed. They have mortgage they have to pay. They have a car leasing they have to pay. So they have a lot of obligations. And if you have so many obligations, you cannot just quit your job. Because at a certain age, it's difficult to find another job. So you stay where you are, but you hate it. You're completely frustrated. And so what do you do to cope with it? You start sabotaging your own company. And isn't that a sad thing? Now imagine how much money is getting lost every year because only 1 out of 5 workers is engaged. They estimate that about 12% of the worldwide GDP is lost because people are not engaged or disengaged at work. This is a lot of money. Now, this is a tragedy, but you know what? You know what's much bigger tragedy, actually? Ask yourself one. What is the biggest tragedy here? It's not the financial loss. It's the human tragedy. If you think about it, do you know how many weeks we live? I always like to talk in weeks here because it makes us more conscious about how short our life is. We live about roughly 4,000 weeks. 4,000 weeks are 80 years. It's not that much if you think in weeks. And about 1,000 weeks, let's say, we are a kid, we go to school, we learn like up to 20. And then we enter the workforce for 40 years, about roughly. So from 20 to 60, It's 2,000 weeks. And 1,000 weeks, we can enjoy retirement. So for 2,000 weeks, most people are not happy with their life because they don't like what they do at work. And we still spend a lot of time at work. As I said, about 2,000 weeks, so half of our life. So what kind of consequences does that have? I mean, if you're not happy at work, you're frustrated. You come home, your frustration, your partner feels your frustration. So your relationship is not good. If your relationship at home is not good, you think you have good relationships with your neighbor. No, because you're frustrated. And so at the end, there's a huge impact on the whole society just because we are not happy at work. Now, the question, of course, is, why is that? Why is that? Why are people not engaged at work? Why are they not motivated? And there are different reasons for that.